Guys, if you're tired of weak erections in the bedroom, or maybe your erections just aren't firm enough for penetration, then you need to take your stretching routine a lot more seriously. Today, I am showing you the top 3 stretches that will help you improve your blood flow, they will help improve your nerve function to your penis, and finally, they will help you reduce muscle tension and stress in 3 key muscle groups, allowing for rock hard erections. Now, this first stretch, it might confuse some of you because you might not think that it's related directly to your pelvic floor or to your erectile dysfunction, but it is. Stretch number 1 is called the cat-cow stretch, and it targets improved nerve function and blood flow directly to your pelvic floor muscles. Now, I'll explain a little bit more about how it works in a minute. First, let me demonstrate. Okay, now to do the cat-cow stretch, what you want to do is you want to come into all 4 kneeling. So kneeling on both knees and your hands are shoulder width apart, okay? Next, you want to find that neutral spine. So neutral spine means your back is perfectly flat, right in the middle. Now, once you are in neutral spine, you are going to lift your upper back up to the ceiling while tucking your tailbone underneath you at the same time. So you're tucking your pelvis in, lifting up that back, arching the back up to the ceiling. Next, you want to bring that chest towards the floor and push your tailbone out to the wall behind you and look up. So you have a nice depression in that mid back. And you're going to alternate. Lift the upper back up, tuck the tailbone underneath you, push that tailbone out, bring that chest to the floor while looking up. So this is the cat. This is the cow, and you're going to repeat for 1 minute in duration. That is the cat-cow stretch. Now let me explain to you why this works so well. So the nerves that send signals from our brain telling our penis to, hey, stiffen up, they travel through our lower back and our sacral region. So for all of us that spend a lot of time sitting for work, our stiff lower back can sometimes cause minor nerve compression and tension within these key muscle groups. Now, starting off with a cat-cow, it gets our spine moving and those nerves firing and our spinal muscles working to increase blood circulation to our pelvic floor region. Now, I typically perform this stretch for 1 minute in duration. All right, moving on to stretch number 2. This stretch relaxes and relieves tension at the muscle attachment site, which is deep within the pelvis and also onto that lower lumbar region of the spine where the nerves travel from our spinal cord to our pelvic floor region. So before I show you how to do this, I wanted to make sure that you have honored our gentleman's agreement. Now guys, this is where if you have watched more than one of my videos, you click that subscribe button below and join our community. Once you click subscribe, comment gentleman's agreement down in the comment section below so that I can personally welcome you and thank you. Now go on, honor our gentleman's agreement. It is our virtual handshake agreement. All right, getting into stretch number 2, the lunging hip flexor stretch. I will explain more in a minute. Let me demonstrate first. All right, for our lunging hip flexor stretch, what you want to do if you have sore knees, you want to grab a nice cushion. So I've got a pillow here and you're going to put it under one knee. Next, I'm going to step forward so I'm in a lunge position, okay? So my hands are going to be on my hips. One knee is at 90 degrees. Chest is up nice and tall and you're going to lunge forward into that stretch. You should feel the stretch in that front of the hip with the knee that is on the ground. So the knee that is on that pillow, if you lunge forward and you lift up your chest towards the ceiling, you're gonna feel a gentle stretch in that front of the thigh, okay? And you're gonna hold this, and I want you to pulse. So you're gonna come out, and then you're gonna lunge in. Come on out, and lunge in, nice and deep. That should get that hip flexor nice and loose. Then you switch sides. So to do that, pillow under the opposite knee, step out, hands on the hips again, and you're gonna lunge forward as such, and then come on back out. So dip in, feel that stretch, make sure that torso's upright, and back out. Dip in, and back out. That is the lunging hip flexor stretch. Now I'm gonna explain why this is so important in a second, but that muscle, so your hip flexor, it actually attaches deep in your pelvis and through to the lower back, where those nerves start that innervate both your penis and your pelvic floor. That is why this makes it such a crucial stretch. Now, I think we can all admit that we do far too much sitting in our lives. At work, in the car, on the couch after a long day. Your hip flexor muscles, they attach to your lower lumbar spine. So when this muscle stiffens up, it pulls your body into an anterior pelvic tilt. So loosening these muscles with this stretch is a great way to reduce tension to the surrounding musculature, including your pelvic floor, and it also reduces tension to the low back, allowing for better nerve function to both the penis and the pelvic floor muscles. Win-win. I hold this stretch for around a minute per side, and again, you back out and then you lunge back in, just like I was demonstrating. On to the next one. Now, the third stretch is something that I've invented myself. It's a little out there, but the results my clients have been getting using it, it speaks for themselves. But before we get into the third stretch for harder erections, we need to quickly talk about sleep, because if you're not getting enough sleep, which most of us men aren't, it can really mess up your health. High cortisol levels, constant fatigue, and imbalanced hormones, these can all lead to problems like erectile dysfunction. That's why improving your sleep quality is just so important, and you can't overlook it. So I want to introduce you to Manta Sleep, the sponsor of today's video. Now, my wife and I, we use Manta Sleep masks every night to get deeper, more restful sleep. We even rely on them for our long international flights between Canada and Australia. These masks are lightweight, they fit perfectly around your eyes without any pressure, and they provide complete blackout, which makes a huge difference in my sleep quality. I cannot recommend these sleep masks enough, or say enough good things about them. Now, if you are serious about improving your overall health, or maybe the health of a loved one, check out the range of sleep masks from Manta Sleep. Using my link in the video description, you'll save 10% off a sleep mask of your choice. Gentlemen, better sleep can make a world of difference in your journey to improving your overall health, and yes, fixing your erectile dysfunction. Thank you so much, Manta Sleep, for supporting our channel. Now let's get into stretch number 3. All right, everyone, stretch number 3. I call this the butterfly fish hook. Now, I want you to pay close attention, because this stretch has a bit going on. We are doing what I coined as the butterfly fish hook stretch. This masterpiece is a movement that combines both a stretch and a manual release of your pelvic floor muscles. Now, let me show you exactly how to do it, so pay close attention. All right, so what you wanna do is you wanna grab a pillow so that you can put this underneath your head and just relax. So I want you lying on the floor or your bed or the couch, doesn't matter. Now, my pants, they are pretty tight. So to do this stretch, would have my hands underneath my underwear, actually on the skin. But for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna have it over my pants. So for those of you at home that are doing them in jeans or work pants, I want your fingers underneath the pants, okay? So you can get the right position. Step number 1 is you wanna bring those feet together, and you just wanna allow the knees to fall to the ground. This is the butterfly portion of this stretch. So allow those knees to fall, don't force it, just allow them to fall to the side and breathe, okay? Butterfly portion, stretching out those groin muscles. Now, the hook portion is you're gonna take your dominant hand, you're gonna take 2 fingers, so the index finger, middle finger, and you're gonna form like a fish hook. And again, I want you underneath your pants, but I'm gonna put mine over. So I'm gonna find my perineum, so I come just off of my scrotum with my 2 fingers in the form of a hook. Now, once I'm onto that area of skin, just between my scrotum and my anus, I'm actually going to apply pressure with my other hand as well, lifting up towards my head. So I'm hooked into the skin and pulling upwards, okay? So I let those knees fall, I get that hook into position, and I am pressing around a 5 out of 10 intensity. So I'm not trying to poke a hole, I'm just pressing firm enough where I can feel that. Now, to make sure you're on the right spot, you can do 3 pelvic floor contractions. So stopping that flow of urine, and you should feel the muscle working underneath your fingertips. That's how I know I'm on the right spot. Let those knees fall, breathe, and now using both arms, I apply that fish hook up into my perineum, and we're holding for about a minute. So now at home, you would set your phone timer for 1 minute, and then you are done the butterfly fish hook. Let me explain why this is so important. So our pelvic floor muscles can become quite overactive and tight, and this can cause us trouble in the erection department. So by stretching our groin with the butterfly portion, the groin muscles share an attachment site with our pelvic floor. And given that it's such a large muscle group responsible for the stabilization of our legs, our groin can get very tight and overactive. You're probably feeling that right now if you just tried that butterfly position. Now guys, for me in my situation, I add these stretches into my weekly mobility routine. And you might consider doing the same for yourself and completing them a few times per week or every day if it suits you and your unique situation. Now, if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, you must go and see a doctor to get a checkup and run blood work to find the root cause of your problem. Yes, these stretches are going to help you out massively, but there's a lot more that goes into fixing your erections, such as lowering your stress levels, improving your sleep, and strengthening up your pelvic floor muscles too. Understand that this is simply a YouTube video highlighting one strategy, and you can use this stretching guide every day and make it part of your rehabilitation program. Now, if you want a little bit more help from me, more one-on-one personalized advice, you can find my coaching services linked in the description of the video below. I want to thank Mantis Sleep again for supporting our channel. And remember, regardless of your situation, keep going, and I'll see you in the next video.